Before you open your mouth, you have already spoken. Long before your plan is on paper, the room has decided whether to help you or to resist you. Call it presence, call it magnetism, call it the current around a man. Your aura announces you. It precedes you into meetings, lingers after you leave, and bends events toward you or away from you. You have felt this in others. Now you must master it in yourself. A man enters, and the air tightens. Heads turn without knowing why. He is not the loudest, nor the most handsome, nor the most richly dressed, yet men give him the path. Another man enters, just as capable on paper, and the room grows colder. Doors do not quite open. Small delays appear. Objections multiply. The difference is not resume, but radiance, the field of definiteness, faith, and disciplined emotion a man carries. That field changes everything, and this is not a parlor trick, it is law. Thought is force, emotion is fuel, habit is rhythm. Together they generate a personal field that either recruits allies and opportunity or repels them. The timid call it luck. The scientist calls it atmosphere. I call it an aura built by method. You have been building yours all your life, consciously or carelessly. Every repeated doubt etched a dimness. Every decisive act struck a spark. Every criticism rehearsed cast a shadow. Every affirmation spoken with feeling lit a lamp in your chest. By midlife, most men's aura merely reflects their circumstances. The few who master destiny make their aura precede their circumstances, and then their circumstances obey. Here is the dangerous part. Your aura is never neutral. It is recruiting or repelling, compounding or consuming at every hour. Money feels it. Buyers feel it. Partners feel it. Even so-called chance feels it. The world senses whether you are a commanding center or a wandering echo, and it treats you accordingly. I will give you the method, but first understand the materials. An aura that bends reality is made of 8 elements, each a link in what I have called the band success formula, translated into radiance. Burning desire is the heat. It is the fire that begins all achievement. Without it, nothing moves. With it, everything is set in motion. Definite decree is direction. It is not a vague wish, but a written command. It tells your mind exactly what you will achieve, by when, and through what service. Autosuggestion is engraving. It is the daily repetition of your decree until it is carved into your subconscious as law. What you repeat with feeling becomes your nature. Transmutation is fuel turned into force. It is the channeling of your strongest emotions, passion, drive, energy, into the work of creation. Service beyond pay is proof. It is the act of giving more than you are paid for, sowing seeds that guarantee a future harvest. Mastermind is the amplifier. It is the unseen power created when 2 or more minds unite in harmony for a definite purpose. Organized plan with persistence is structure and current. It is the blueprint held steady under the blowtorch of endurance until results are forged. And finally, the inner covenant with the subconscious is the source. It is the nightly vow, the guarded gate, the silent chamber where faith, gratitude, and decision connect you with infinite intelligence itself. Heat without direction is wildfire. Direction without heat is winter sun. Engraving without emotion is chalk and rain. Service without plan is wasted light. Alliance without harmony flickers. Persistence without covenant burns out. All must be woven if your aura is to carry weight. Let me test you plainly. When you enter a room tomorrow, will others feel a verdict has already been rendered by you? Or will they sense your request for permission? Aura is not begging. Aura is the quiet pressure of a man who has decided, who has paid in advance, and who needs no applause to proceed. Say this with me now, slowly, as if you were etching it upon steel. I carry heat without haste, light without noise, decision without apology. My desire is white hot, My decree is written, my word is law to me, my service proves me, my allies amplify me, my plan directs me, my persistence sustains me, my inner court supplies me, I radiate certainty, I attract its kind. Still think this is rhetoric? Watch the ledger. The man of radiance finds names rising to call him, doors opening on the first knock, objections softening in his presence. The timid call it charm. The wise call it field alignment. His inner order has impressed his subconscious. His subconscious has impressed infinite intelligence. And together, they impress men. The result looks like luck, because the method is invisible. Do not mistake this for theatrics. Polished speech with a hollow chest blinds no one. Aura is not volume. It is voltage, the quiet, steady pressure of a trained inner life. The world believes what your nervous system believes. Train that, and the room will believe you before you argue. Neglect it, and the room will require proof you do not possess. Aura is not superstition. It is the living radiation of a man's thoughts, emotions, and definiteness of purpose. You carry it with you into every room. It speaks before your lips open. It declares before your credentials are read. It pronounces sentence before your case is made. Men call it atmosphere, presence, or magnetism, but it is nothing less than the currency of the soul. The beggar and the master may wear the same coat, may speak with the same grammar, may even hold the same diploma, yet their outcomes differ as night differs from day. Why? Because one enters with the aura of request and the other enters with the aura of decree. One bends his back to circumstance and the other bends circumstance to his back. Every man is building this aura daily, whether he knows it or not. Each thought repeated is a brick. Each doubt rehearsed is a crack in the wall. Each affirmation shouted with conviction is a beam of light. A man may paint his office, polish his shoes, prepare his words, but if his inner radiation is one of fear, complaint, or apology, the world will sense it and respond accordingly. Consider Henry Ford. He was ridiculed for his lack of schooling, denounced by scholars as ignorant, and sued by financiers who sought to cripple his independence. Yet his aura carried such a charge of certainty that the very men who mocked him bent to his will. When he said he would build a motor car for the multitude, the world laughed. His aura, however, was not laughter, but decree. In time, the laughter became applause, and his aura bent bankers, laborers, and inventors to serve his vision. This is why I tell you that aura is not ornament. It is law. You cannot conceal it. You cannot counterfeit it. You radiate either strength or weakness, definiteness or drift, command or plea. The listener may not know why he trusts one man and distrusts another, but his soul responds to the radiation. Thought is force, and aura is its field. Every time you rehearse a doubt, you dim that field. You cut a thread from the rope you need to climb. Every time you repeat a criticism, you sow rust into your own radiance. And every time you affirm with conviction that you are master of yourself and your destiny, you polish the lamp within. The world will not believe you merely because you argue. It will believe you because you radiate belief in yourself. Say this now. I am a center of decision. I do not seek permission. I radiate law. Repeat it not as empty sound, but as decree. Let the words carve into your nerves. The tone of your aura will begin to shift. The nervous man will feel steadier. The timid man will stand straighter. The indecisive man will find his speech gaining weight. I warn you plainly, aura is never neutral. You are either commanding or repelling, gathering or scattering, drawing fortune nearer or driving it away. The drifting man, with his vague wishes and unsteady will, emits a fog that blinds opportunity. Fortune may brush against him, but will not dwell with him. The decisive man, with his burning desire and definite plan, emits a current that bends even chance into service. Look at the men who drift. They rise in the morning with no aim. Their conversations are filled with complaint. They blame others. They rely upon luck. They envy the strong. Their aura is gray, heavy, uninspiring. Now look at the man of definiteness. His walk is firm, his eyes steady, his words direct. He may possess less knowledge on paper, but the room yields him the way, for his aura has already pronounced the verdict of mastery. Therefore, guard the inner chamber of your thought, for it is the power station of your aura. Do not allow idle chatter, complaint, or gossip to drain it. Do not let fear rehearse itself within your breast. Instead, feed your aura daily with definite desire, burning faith, and unwavering affirmation. The world is ruled not by the clever tongue alone, but by the steady pressure of a trained aura. The timid call it luck, the shallow call it charm, but I tell you it is law. What you radiate, you attract. What you project, you command. What you believe at your core becomes the decree the world obeys. Aura is the invisible currency of life. Spend it carelessly and you will be poor. Invest it wisely and the world will yield to you. Without burning desire, a man is as cold iron left in the rain. His words may be clever, his knowledge wide, his garments rich, yet if no fire glows within, his aura is gray and lifeless. Nothing commands like heat. Desire is that heat. It is the flame that quickens every atom of your body, that colors your voice, that magnetizes your aura until men feel it before you have spoken. When desire burns white hot, obstacles shrink, delays bow, and chance itself begins to conspire. Men call it coincidence, but it is law. The man of desire attracts as a flame attracts the moth. The man of weak wishes repels, as cold ash repels warmth. If your aura is to bend reality, it must first be charged with a definite and consuming desire. Study the story of Edwin C. Barnes. He was a common man with no money, no standing, no influence. Yet he carried a single burning desire: to become a business associate of Thomas Edison. That desire lit his aura with such force that when he stood before Edison, penniless and unremarkable in appearance, the great inventor felt compelled to test him. Barnes had no wealth to offer, but his aura declared, "I belong here." Barnes did not say, "I wish to work with you." He said, "I will become your associate." That definiteness was the mark of burning desire. He accepted menial tasks, but in his heart he was already Edison's partner. For 5 years, he held to that desire, never wavering, never cooling. And when the opportunity came, disguised in the form of an unwanted dictating machine, it was Barnes whose aura of burning desire carried the invention into the world and earned him fortune. Mark this well. Had Barnes carried only a tepid wish, Edison would have dismissed him as quickly as smoke vanishes in the wind. But the fire in Barnes's eyes, the flame in his words, the aura charged with unwavering desire, these persuaded Edison to give him a place. That is the difference between vague wishes and burning desire. Do you not see? The world yields not to polite hopes, but to blazing decrees. When you merely wish, your aura is dim, uncertain, unconvincing. When you desire with fire, your aura is like a beacon that calls opportunity to your shore. Your task, therefore, is to kindle desire until it is white-hot, definite, and unquenchable. Daily, you must feed this fire. Write clearly what you desire, fix the amount, the date, the service you will give. Then read it aloud morning and night with all the passion of your soul. Let your voice tremble with conviction. Let your heart beat with urgency. Speak it until your subconscious accepts it as law. Speak it until your aura glows with it, until every man you meet senses your fire. Say this now with me. My desire is a command to my soul, and my soul obeys. Speak it again, not as sound, but as decree. Each time you affirm it, you strike a spark within. Each spark adds to the flame. Each flame adds to your aura. Beware the danger of tepid wishes. They are the gray smoke that signals a dying fire. Men who wish vaguely, I would like wealth, I would like success, I would like happiness, radiate only indecision. Their aura flickers and fades, and opportunity passes them by. Wishes are for children. Burning desire is the property of men who bend reality. Look at Henry Ford again. He desired to build a motor car for the multitude. That desire consumed him until financiers laughed, engineers protested, and judges ridiculed his ignorance. Yet his aura burned with such conviction that even his opponents began to feel its inevitability. Desire, burning and definite, carried him through ridicule into mastery. Look at Abraham Lincoln. He desired union so fiercely that though beaten in election after election, though crushed by failure and mocked by enemies, he persisted until his aura of burning desire bent a divided nation toward freedom and unity. Without that consuming desire, his words would have been forgotten. With it, his aura altered history. You may say, but my station is low, my resources small, my talents few. Barnes had none of these, yet his burning desire raised him. Lincoln had less schooling than many farmers, yet his burning desire lifted him above scholars. Desire is the great equalizer. It makes the poor man rich, the unlearned wise, the obscure immortal. Do not deceive yourself with the excuse of circumstances. You may not command the winds, but you may light your own fire. You may not choose your birth, but you may kindle your desire. And once it burns fiercely enough, men, money, and circumstances will bend toward it. This is law, not chance. If today you find yourself lukewarm, drifting, indifferent, then write your desire and begin to speak it. Fan the flame with daily affirmation. Feed it with imagination. Guard it from the water of criticism and the ashes of doubt. In time, that desire will blaze so brightly that your aura will be felt before you speak, and the world, sensing your heat, will yield the path. Desire without decree is a flame without direction. It burns brightly, but it spreads without aim, consuming fuel yet building nothing. To bend reality, desire must be bound in words of command. A decree is not a plea, it is a law you impose upon yourself. It is written with definiteness, spoken with authority, and repeated until the subconscious accepts it as irrevocable. When you decree, you cease from hoping and begin ruling. Hoping whispers, if it may be. Decree thunders, it shall be. Hoping bends the knee to chance. Decree commands chance to serve. Aura without decree is like light without a lens. It shines but does not strike. Aura with decree is focused, penetrating, irresistible. The tool by which decree engraves itself into the soul is autosuggestion. This is the daily, deliberate feeding of your subconscious with the words of your definite aim. What you tell yourself with feeling, you become. What you repeat with conviction, your aura radiates. Men feel it before they know it. The world responds as if it were already true, for your subconscious has already accepted it as true. Remember my meeting with Andrew Carnegie? He looked upon me, a young man without wealth, without standing, without power, yet his aura of definiteness was so commanding that he pressed upon me a 20-year task. He did not suggest. He did not advise. He decreed. And the force of his decree imprinted itself upon my mind. That decree carried me through decades of labor, through poverty, ridicule, and doubt, until I delivered the philosophy you hear now. You must do the same for yourself. Write your decree with exactness. State what you will achieve, the date by which you will achieve it, and the service by which you will earn it. Then read it aloud each morning as the sun rises, and each night before you surrender to sleep. Read it not coldly, but with burning emotion. Let your voice carry conviction. Let your heart throb with belief. Each repetition is a stroke of the engraver's tool upon the tablet of your soul. Each stroke deepens the mark. In time, your subconscious no longer questions, no longer delays. It accepts the decree as law. And once it has accepted, your aura radiates it as certainty. Men begin to treat you as the embodiment of your decree. Circumstances bend to align with it. What began as words becomes reality. Say this with me now. I decree my aim. I engrave it in my blood. My subconscious obeys. Do not speak it timidly. Speak it as a king would speak his command. Each time you do, you deepen the engraving. Each time you do, you intensify the voltage of your aura. Look at the difference between men who decree and men who drift. The drifter says, I hope to succeed. I wish to prosper. Perhaps one day I shall. His aura is foggy, uncertain, unconvincing. Men dismiss him before he has finished his plea. The decreeing man says, I shall succeed. I shall prosper. This is the date. This is the method. This is my service. His aura is clear, definite, commanding. Men may resist him outwardly, but inwardly they feel compelled to follow. This is why repetition alone is not enough. Cold words spoken without emotion are chalk in the rain. They leave no mark. Autosuggestion must be charged with faith, colored with feeling, burned into the subconscious with passion. Only then does the aura radiate certainty without effort. Think again of Henry Ford. He decreed that he would build the V8 motor. His engineers declared it impossible. They argued, they protested, they insisted. But Ford's decree was engraved upon his soul. He repeated it until his aura infected the engineers with persistence. They returned again and again until the impossible was done. That was decree made flesh. Or think of Edison. He decreed that he would produce light from electricity. Thousands of failures could not erase that decree, for it had been engraved too deeply. His aura radiated such unshakable certainty that assistants labored through endless nights, infected by the decree. At last, the lamp burned. It was not luck. It was decree, repeated and believed, until reality bent to obey. Understand this. When you decree, you are not trying to persuade others. You are persuading yourself. Once persuaded, your aura does the rest. The world responds not to your words, but to the voltage behind them. And that voltage is built by decree, engraved daily by autosuggestion, fueled by burning desire. Therefore, waste no more time with idle wishing. Write your decree, repeat it aloud with fire. Engrave it daily until it becomes your nature. Guard it jealously, for what you decree with faith becomes law within, and what is law within becomes fact without. This is the method by which aura bends reality. Every man is given passions. They are the fire of life. Love, anger, ambition, imagination, courage, these are forces. Left undirected, they consume a man as wildfire consumes a forest. Directed with intelligence, they become power that bends steel and destiny alike. Aura is not sustained by dry reasoning alone. It is charged by the transmutation of passion into definite aim. Transmutation is not suppression. Suppression kills the fire. Transmutation is redirection. It is taking the heat of emotion and bending it into the furnace of achievement. Every great creator has done this. The poet transforms sorrow into song. The inventor transforms frustration into machines. The leader transforms indignation into reforms. They do not waste passion in indulgence. They turn it into fuel. Think of Thomas Edison. He worked through nights, often sleeping on benches, his hair uncombed, his clothes stained. What gave him such endurance? Passion. But it was not scattered. It was transmuted into the lamp, into the phonograph, into 1,000 inventions. His aura radiated such intensity that men labored with him through exhaustion, driven by the same fire. Strong desire alone is not enough. Desire must be fueled by emotion. Cold plans do not move men. But when your plan is charged with passion, your aura takes on a living voltage. Men feel it, opportunities align with it, infinite intelligence responds to it. This is why I tell you, direct your strongest emotions toward your definite aim. Do not waste passion in quarrels, jealousies, or indulgences. Do not pour the fire of your life into dissipation, for then your aura will flicker with weakness. Instead, take that fire and bind it to your plan. When anger rises, transmute it into relentless work. When desire for pleasure grows, transmute it into hunger for achievement. When fear whispers, transmute it into courage to act. Thus, every emotion becomes a servant to your aura. Say this now. I turn fire into power, not indulgence. My passions obey my purpose. Repeat it until you feel your emotions bowing before your will. For this is mastery, not the killing of passion, but its command. The man who commands his passions radiates strength. The man who is commanded by them radiates weakness. Look at the lives of the drifting. They squander passion in gossip, in envy, in idle pleasure. Their aura is restless, chaotic, and untrustworthy. Men sense it and withhold trust. Contrast them with the disciplined Creator, whose passions are transmuted into building, serving, and achieving. His aura is steady, bright, magnetic, I tell you plainly. Fortune belongs not to the cold nor to the uncontrolled, but to the man who transfigures passion into purpose. This is the hidden furnace of aura. If you would bend reality, take every flame of your being and hurl it upon your definite aim until your aura burns with a light that commands men, circumstances, and events. Aura cannot be hidden forever. Words may be polished, dress may be fine, gestures may be rehearsed, but time will expose the man. The truest test of aura is service. The world senses whether a man gives more than he is paid for, or whether he withholds effort until he is bribed with reward. One radiates light that attracts allies, the other radiates dimness that repels fortune. When I have spoken of aura, some men have asked, "How may I brighten mine?" The answer is simple. Render more service than is required and do it willingly. Each act of excess service is a spark added to your radiance. Each time you walk the second mile when the first mile was all that duty required, your aura grows in brightness and men trust you without conscious thought. The law is exact. The man who gives grudgingly or merely enough to keep his wage sends forth a field of scarcity. His aura whispers, "I will not invest in you." The man who gives more than he is paid for, who pours in thought, care, and energy beyond his wage, sends forth a field of abundance. His aura whispers, "I can be trusted with more," and the world responds with more. Consider the story of Charles M. Schwab. He began as a worker in Andrew Carnegie's mills. He was not the richest, not the oldest, not the most educated, but he radiated eagerness to serve beyond his pay. He looked for tasks others ignored. He carried responsibility beyond his station. He gave more light than was asked. Carnegie felt this radiance, trusted it, and lifted Schwab from obscurity to presidency of the steel empire. What happened in that mill has happened in every walk of life. The men who rise are those whose aura declares, "I am willing to sow in excess." They do not calculate every minute against their pay. They do not ask, "What is the least I can do?" They ask, "How much more can I contribute?" Their aura becomes a magnet, drawing both opportunity and trust. The timid cry, "But if I give more than I am paid for, men will exploit me." This is the language of fear. Hear me, no man is ever exploited who has the habit of giving more. The immediate employer may fail to reward, but the law does not. If one master withholds recognition, another will appear. The seed of excess service is never wasted. It sprouts, if not in this field, then in another. I myself have witnessed men pass from poverty to abundance by this law. In my long research, I have found no exception. The surest way to dim your aura is to give grudgingly. The surest way to brighten it is to give abundantly. The one radiates suspicion, the other radiates promise. The one repels opportunity, the other draws it. Say these words with me. I sow in excess. My harvest must exceed. I prove my worth before I am paid. Repeat them daily until they shape your nature. For this is the true secret of advancement, to build a reputation that precedes reward. When men sense that you always give more, they open doors before you knock. Look again at Henry Ford. Before he had wealth, he gave ceaseless labor to his experiments. He was not paid for every hour he poured into designing and redesigning his engines. Yet his aura grew brighter with each act of extra service to his vision. When the hour of reward came, it was immense, because the aura of abundant service had already been sown. Contrast this with the man who withholds. He says, I will not give more until I am paid more. He waits for the world to serve him before he serves. His aura is dull, begrudging, unconvincing. Men sense it, distrust it, and withhold advancement. Such a man remains where he is, complaining of injustice, while the man of abundant service passes him by. This law is